Good morning. There's everybody. I think I know you. Okay. Well, guys, I found myself in a unique spot a few years ago. Well, a few years, been about 8 or 9 years now. I found myself being the only person in a social studies department. I had two retirees, and I looked around, and they made me the department head by default, I guess. And the principal at the time asked me, "What direction do you want this to go in?" I was like, "Well, I think we need to go as far as technology and innovation needs to move forward." And so I was fortunate enough to hire a couple of people that were technology based, with myself included. And since then, we've actually gone online. We're using programs like Moodle, free course management software. And this year I decided, well, I was talking to a couple of my AP students, and I said, what would make the difference in this class for you guys after the end of the year? And they said, well, tangible items, something that we can touch. And I was like, well, that's kind of hard to do. And so I got the idea. I started talking there. I was at a KET at the beginning of August, and I was talking to some of their UK engineers. And they had a 3D printer sitting here, and I was watching these guys make these sockets, and it occurred to me, I'm all about changing assessment from multiple choice and giving student options. I'm a student-driven instructor, so what I do is instead of, well, she wants to take a multiple choice test, it's up to her, it's her option. Whereas Mike Melton, he may want to, use the 3D printer, use some code and instruct if he's technology-driven, and construct Lincoln's head, and make sure it's got some causal analysis in there, why he chose to do that, why is it significant for him to make Lincoln's head. Now, is this my time, by the way? Okay, all right. I just realized, look, I was like, well. So one of the things I decided was it's going to be a learning initiative more so than innovators, because what happens is with 3D printing, if you know nothing about it, it's a lot of coding. We're going to have to use some coding software. Now, I've been looking at, Adobe makes more of a, I don't want to use some technical terms here, a GUI interface, much like you'd sit down, you log into Windows. It'll allow some of our teachers. So my whole goal with this is, first, is to introduce some technology to the students as far as coding. If that's a little bit over their head, which I'm imagining is probably going to be at this point, to come up with some kind of software from my end that's going to allow the students to graphically use and just be able to manipulate a little bit. The cost is going to exceed way over $1,000. I'll be honest with you. I'm fortunate enough to have a district that's willing to support me in this endeavor. Our first step was purchasing a higher end laptop. It's going to become the student center workstation. It's going to kind of be in the back of my classroom. The printer itself, 2500 with filament. And the filament, of course, it's like when you buy just a regular printer, it's not the printer that costs, it's the toner and the ink, okay? So the filament, the spools are going to come. We're going to have 4 different spools. That's my plan right now. Whether or not that happens, we'll see. But so it's going to be 4 different colors, and I've already had the science instructors come around. Can we design cells with this thing, So it's going to be good. I envision that in a couple of years we're going to move forward, and I'm going to have everyone, that's my goal, student growth plans, everyone able to use this in some form or fashion. Are there any questions about how it's going to work? Kind of an overview of it? Well, I look. Right, that's what I was going to say. I looked at them. Right. Well, does it come with software? Is it? Yeah. Right. I saw the open source. Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. Right. Is there any coding involved in it? Awesome. So see, it's good. Easy, just some open source software.